everyone. My name's Thomas Howell. I am here conducting interviews on behalf of New Line Cage Fighting with permission of Keith No. That being said, my opinions are purely of my own. They do not reflect anyone else. Today, I am with Adamn Moore. He is a boxer. He is of Urban Warrior Academy. Um, he has been fighting for quite a bit now. He was at the first fight show I've ever seen. Um, I did an interview with his coach about a week or two ago, and me and him discussed him some on that episode. And I thought about the things that we said, and I really wanted to have Adam as a guest just based on the fact of his determination to not give up. And I've seen him fall off of a stage at a show and about knock himself out and then go in and still win the fucking fight. So if that doesn't tell you anything about him, I think that I'll go ahead and let him speak for himself. Do you want to talk about maybe about how you've been on a health journey and stuff like that and how you're overcoming it and getting back into the ring, maybe to start us off?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, a few months ago, I tripped on a chainsaw and cut my foot open, and my toe somehow it got a bone infection. So it put me down for a couple months. I was on antibiotics for like 8 weeks, and in the hospital for a week or so. So yeah, and they were saying that I was gonna lose my foot. I wouldn't. It was like a 30% chance or whatever.
Yeah.
But I kept with it, and now everything's all cleared up, and I'm back at it again.
Ready to get back into the cage or the ring or whatever comes first, huh?
Yeah.
Um, so since you're back at it with like you're back healthy and ready to compete again, can you tell us what kind of training you've been doing with Larry at Urban Warrior Academy? And can you maybe tell us? He talked about his exact words to me was he makes sure he kicks your guys' asses at training. So can you kind of maybe tell me what you've been going through with training now that you're healthy again?
Um, he's been killing me. My hardest thing is probably the cardio, getting back into it.
Yeah.
Cardio ain't like what I thought it was gonna be. So it's kind of tough, even going in there sparring 3 minute rounds, it's like I get tired. So that's the biggest problem I guess I noticed from coming back from being out for so long. So,
Yeah. I watched the video of you hitting the heavy bag and stuff. You looked pretty good in the video.
yeah, I appreciate actually I feel better now coming back than before I even left. It's kind of funny. I really get it, but
You may be coming back stronger than you was before and stuff. Maybe going through what you did made you a stronger person. Um, can you tell us how you got into connections with Larry and how you started training with him? Did you start with him before? I think he said that that you got into New Line kind of with him. So do you want to tell us about how that kind of transpired?
yeah, I ended up I was taking some crazy ass fight in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had no fights, no experience, and I guess the dude had like I guess 10 fights or whatever. And so anyway, I was telling him about it, and I was going to start training with him. He was like, "That dude, that's stupid." He was like, "Just let me get you a fight." So I started working with him, and yeah, I started off rough. I lost my first two, but now coming back, I've won three in a row now. So.
Yeah. Was the last fight that you had with Ram? Was that the last one you had?
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
was supposed
remember.
to fight Ryan, and then I hurt my foot the week before the fight. That
Yeah.
kind of fucked up everything. So,
Have you got anyone else lined up, or like have you been in talks with Keith or no?
um, Larry said that I think we got one in January or February. I'm not really sure like what it is, like who I'm fighting or anything, but supposed to be fighting somewhere around then.
Yeah. Um. So, do you want to run it back with Ram again? Like now that I know that you kind of won it again, but like you won the last fight, but you're healthy and maybe better off than before. So, do you want to try to go back and maybe see how he does with you, or is that something that maybe like you're kind of done with?
But it just depends on whatever, however it comes. I mean, he looks a lot better. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see him, he looks like he's getting better. So
Yeah.
it really just depends on. I wouldn't say no, but I do kind of want to start getting harder and harder fights.
Yeah.
So it just depends on, I guess, what it looks like when the time comes.
Are you going to stay strictly boxing, or are you maybe going to venture out into kickboxing, or have you really put much thought into that?
I think I'm gonna stick to boxing. Yeah, my age is too much for me right now.
I about broke one of my toes doing kickboxing sparring. So I think if I ever, which I don't know if I ever will, but if I ever decide to debut, I think I'll stick to boxing for a good while. MMA just scares me. I don't want to go and get like elbowed and have my skull caved in or something.
It's different from kicking people. Like, you think kicking somebody, you won't really feel it, man, but you feel it every time I fucking kick something, I feel it.
Did you get into like boxing and fighting at a young age, or is it something that you kind of ventured into later on in life?
Let's see, I was 33, I think, or 32 before I started. Really,
What got you into it?
it's just something I wanted to try. It's like certain things.
Yeah.
It's not like what I expected. There, nothing like it. It's a whole lot harder than I expected it would ever be.
Do you feel like since you've been training with Larry at Urban Warrior Academy, do you feel like maybe you have noticed a difference in your outlook on things, if not physically, also mentally? Do you feel like you're a more disciplined person since you've been training with him?
Yeah, I was actually in a bad place. I was in a car wreck right before I actually started training, and like my mental health and my physical health, everything was just shit, man. And then I started training in the gym, and everything just got better. So it
Yeah,
did. It helped my physical and mental health. I could tell a big difference.
yeah. I like Larry. He seems like a really stand-up dude. Every time I've spoke to him, he's been nothing but polite and helpful and giving me advice about everything. I'm I'm very appreciative for him, and I'm appreciative for you for coming on here and doing interviews and stuff. I'm going to try to interview most of the people that go to Urban Warrior Academy, which it's up to the individual whether they want to or not. But I would love to get exposure for your gym and maybe get more interest into it and stuff. And there's not a lot of, I mean, there is some information and stuff, but there's not a whole lot of insight into each individual fighter, and um, it would just be good for people to get to know you guys. I want to get to know more behind the scenes of what Urban Warrior Academy is like, because I respect the fact that he's doing it on his own and he's not doing it to like make a fortune and stuff like that. And he's doing it to help people. So I think that's a very commendable thing. And I think that whenever you see someone from Urban Warrior Academy out in the ring or the cage, you know it's going to be a good fight, like win or lose, you know it's going to be a scrap. So that's that's part of why I'm so interested in interviewing you guys.
Yeah, it's probably one of the only gyms I've really felt like he makes it feel.
Yeah. Um, do you have anything to say to the people that have been waiting for you to return at New Line? Because I know there's at least a few people that I know of that have been kind of waiting for you to come back and that enjoy watching your fights. People like you and Ram and Jimmy, the people that actually get out there and fight. People love seeing that, and they notice when people like you are gone. I noticed I hadn't seen you on the card for a while, and then I seen right before I added Larry, I seen that he was sharing posts that you were sick and stuff, and I didn't even know that you had got sick. I just noticed that you weren't on the cards.
Yeah, well, I'm coming back, and I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can. As long as I'm able to keep doing it, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, like I said, I like seeing you fight. I knew that day that you fell off the stage. I knew you had heart just getting in there. I was like, man, I taking a dive fall like that. I don't know how good he can do. And then you got in there and won it. I was like, damn. I
Yeah,
was right next to it when it happened. I didn't know what happened.
yeah, I fell harder than like I went out for a split second. I hit hard. I think I landed on a chair. My head hit the chair or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I thought maybe a brawl had happened backstage and somebody got shoved. That was my initial thought. I was like, damn, wait till the fights.
I don't know. I think it was where that curtain was sitting there. I didn't really think about it being a ledge, a step off right there, and I just turned around and off I went.
That could have went so much worse than what it did too. I was
Yeah, yeah, it
I
could
was worried. I didn't know if I just seen somebody die right in front of me. You know, the way your head hit, I was worried it might have broke your neck or something. But damn, like I said, you still got up and fought it off.
yeah,
Lord have mercy. Some people have got more determination and heart than I do. I'll tell you that. I don't know if I could have caught up and fought that off.
yeah. There ain't no quit in me, that's for sure.
That's what Larry said too. Larry said the same exact thing. So, is there anything specific that you want to talk about? I've briefly touched up on most of the things that I wanted to discuss, but like maybe do you want to talk about from the perspective of I don't know if you would consider yourself a student of Larry's or maybe I don't know what the term for a mentor is, like a mentee, I guess. What is it like for you specifically at Urban Warrior Academy? What do you do when you show up, and how does a normal training session go? Maybe for somebody who else is interested in going there.
Golly, we first go, we'll do probably 10, 15 3-minute rounds of just, like cardio work before we ever even get started on the boxing. So, I mean, we stay in there about 2.5, 3 hours, usually about 6 days a week, most of the time
Yeah,
on a normal time. So, yeah, we definitely work hard.
I see the videos you guys are posting. I can't remember his first name, but I seen a live of Larry, and his last name's Bonner. I seen them
Yeah.
training, and that looked like it would kick somebody's ass. The stuff he was doing, so I can
Yeah,
imagine.
there's some days I go in there and I can't even freak. I barely can stand up when I get done.
Yeah. That's how you know it's a good workout if your whole body's sore the next day.
Oh yeah.
He Larry gets good progress out of people though. That's what I was telling him yesterday. I seen Gio's first fight, his debut. I was there for that, and by the end of the second round, he was gassed out, which he had heart and he didn't give up, but his gas tank was
Mhm.
empty. And then by the end of his fight with Ram, he still had more to keep going. So you can tell that Larry puts in the work, and so do the fighters too.
Yeah, he'll bring out the best in somebody. That's for sure.
I would like to, if I ever do decide to get into boxing and stuff, I would like to try to do virtual trainings with him and stuff. I watch, he occasionally posts videos giving advice and stuff of different standing techniques and like, I don't know the exact term for it, but like different ways to duck and slip punches and stuff. And I try to watch those just to get the mental image of it, of how to do it.
It works, man. I've done it. I actually have done some when I can't get there because I do live a little bit of ways. I drive, it takes like a 35 minute drive. So
Yeah.
like the days I can't, I mean, we've done some virtual stuff and you get, I get pretty much the same workout. I mean, you can't really hit mitts and stuff, but as
Yeah.
far as the cardio workouts, you definitely get that.
Yeah. Cardio is definitely something that I need to get back into. I used to be able to walk and miles and jog some of it, but I was trying to hike up a mountain about a week or two ago and I got gassed out halfway up it. And I used to be able to walk the whole thing twice without getting tired.
Yeah, I was surprised that my cardio it was so shitty when I went back, but you know, I guess it's just something you got to get back into.
Yeah. You can definitely train it back up, and especially after having to take time off and stuff, it's not necessarily surprising that it would. I don't know the word for it. I don't know if atrophy is the right word or not, but something similar to that, I guess. But it'll come
Yeah,
back, especially working with Larry. It'll come back.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it back.
Um, is there anything else that you would like to say? Is there anyone that you would like to maybe give shout outs to? Do you have anyone that you want to call out, or do you have any closing statements at all for the interview?
Um, I'll give a shout out to Larry, my gym, and I guess everybody that comes to the gym and gets work in.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time to do the interview and stuff. Your next fight, if you're interested in doing a pre-fight interview, just get a hold of me and we can do a pre-fight. We can do that in person. We can do that in Zoom. Uh, I'm going to try my best to be at the January show. If you do a fight there, I'm for sure going to be at the one in December, which I know that's kind of short notice, so I don't know how that'll go. But if there is anyone from Urban Warrior Academy there at all, if they want to do pre and post interviews too, we can do it. I don't care a bit.
All right.
All righty. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now. Thank you again for coming on here and thank you for the time and talking about things with me. I appreciate you coming on here to do this.
All right. Thanks, bud.